And one, I believe we are live, and I'm going to go over and check right now.
Woohoo! Fantastic. It's Thursday. That means we are here live with Grit and Grace. And
I wish.
man, it's getting closer and closer to the middle of the year. I can't believe it. I can't
Already.
believe it. It's May. It's
Yeah.
May.
It
I
seems like
cannot believe this.
it seems like October, November, December just drug by so damn slow.
Yeah.
And then we got into January, and January, February, March, April were just blink gone.
Yeah. It's amazing. It's amazing. And I was just thinking about this the other day. It's the middle of May almost. And I'm like, oh my God, I can't believe how much stuff has happened so far this year
Yeah. Do you
with
remember
both of us.
Do you remember last year and the year before? Seems like if you've got friends on your friends list that are entrepreneurs, seems like it's like a countdown or something. I don't know what it is, but it's like we're 100 days in.
Yeah.
Where are you at in your business? Are you meeting your goals? Blah blah blah. I'm like,
Yeah.
serious?
First
No.
quarter. We're in the last quarter.
Yeah, it's like you know what? Screw you. I don't care where you're at. Are you trying to toot your own horn? Are you trying to fluff your peacock feathers? What is it? You just tell me what you want me to say. I'll
Yeah.
say that to make you feel good, and then we can move along.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's gone by really fast this year. A lot of shit has gone on, and we're already past. Like we were talking about, it's so weird. We were talking about, oh, we're coming up on the 1 year anniversary of Grit and Grace. We're coming up on the 1 year. That's gone. That's over. That's last week. It's like it's amazing to me how fast, um, yeah, how fast time is going.
It's like a Lynn says, I told hubby this morning, body feels like 90, but mine feels late 20s. And I would add a
Yeah.
little bit to that. I feel you. I understand where you're at. I don't feel 90 per se. I do feel older than my body feels older than what it is, but my mind
Well,
definitely feels late 20s. My maturity level, though,
yeah.
it has a tendency to sink to 16 from time to time.
Well, body. Yeah, the shit you put it through. Like, come on. Like, no wonder you feel.
Oh, yeah. I got out of the van after work. Okay, so I get out of the van and I take that first step, and we have to drive an hour and a half home every night coming
Oh
home from work.
God.
So you have that hour and a half to let all that lactic acid build up in you. And so I took a step out of the van tonight, and I literally kept on going to the ground, all the way down to the ground until I was in almost into a fetal position. And as I was laying there, the guy that works with me is just kind of shakes his head. He knows, he gets it. He feels the same way. We're both burning pretty hard. So yeah, it was like, oh my God, everything hurts, everything. So I know exactly where you're at, Lynn. I get it.
God. So I have to say publicly here, happy birthday, Alin. Happy birthday.
It's
It's her
I
birthday today.
didn't even know this. Happy birthday! That's such
Yeah.
a happy time.
Big 3-0.
Big three. Oh, nice. I want to be, one of these days I'm going to be perfectly happy. I hit 42 last year, so I was able to double fist it because, I'm 21 twice. So, but when I turn 63, I think I'm just gonna, instead of having three drinks, I think I'm gonna have 3 21s. I'm okay with that.
When you hit when you hit 63. Oh, okay. Because of the 21 times 3. Okay.
Yeah. See where we're
42.
at.
You turned 42 like this year, like
No,
this March that passed.
I turned
Or
43.
43.
So
Oh yeah. Well, you're just a
not old,
baby.
not young. I'm in the halfway point.
Yeah.
I'm getting the blue flag with the yellow stripe halfway there.
That's right. That's right. So we celebrated our just to go back to our 1 year thing, and we had a contest running. We had a contest running. We want to give away some swag, some T-shirts, some whatever gift cards to celebrate, and we were given till the end of the weekend for people to enter. They had to email us their name and mailing address so that we could send them their gifts. And man, we had so many people like in on the party show last week. Not one person entered.
Well, are you kidding me?
Not one person entered.
Not
Not
a
one
single
person. Not one person emailed us to enter. And that, if that one person had, they would have gotten everything. They would have gotten the whole kit
the
and
whole
caboodle swag. But,
everything.
the early bird doesn't get the worm apparently. So,
Oh,
yeah. So
that's
there,
just crazy. That just goes to show what's going on here. I mean, we're talking free stuff.
free stuff.
You don't even have to pay for shipping. This isn't one of those scams where get this free thing, but you have to pay for shipping. No, we're not saying this.
We want to send you like something cool, like some cool stuff, but whatever. Miss out. Be lazy.
They had to do something though. They had to send an email.
I had to send an email. It's really hard. I know it's really hard to do that, but
I mean, I don't know. Can you send emails from your phone?
Yeah, I can.
Yeah, so can I.
I know it's weird, eh?
It's about as easy as sending a text messenger. Hi, Donna. How are you?
Anyway, that's okay. It just saved more money for our road trip, and some cool swag. What?
We're going to be able to give out more swag
to the people. That's right.
Because nobody else wanted it, so we're going to give it out there.
That's right. I'm going to get myself like a nicer. I'll just save the money and get myself maybe instead of a T-shirt, Grit and Grace T-shirt, I'll order myself a nice hoodie.
There you go. You're probably going to need it.
There.
Probably. I don't know what it is right now, but it's supposedly springtime here.
And it's not?
Oh, no.
Not spring?
No, it's like 30 degrees right now. It's freaking cold. Yeah, that's why I'm wearing the hoodie. I got the
See, in my mind, you're like, it's 30 degrees right away. I'm thinking, that's freaking hot. But I'm thinking, no, you guys do your weather different. And then I have to think about and translate it in my head. And
all right, it is -1 degree Celsius. How's that?
Yeah, it's not good. Oh my God. Yeah. That's freaking cold, man.
Yes, it is.
Well, it better warm up like in a month.
Well, it was
more nice than a month and a half.
Okay, so South Dakota weather is bipolar. It sincerely, it is, of all the states in the union, South Dakota is a woman. It just is. It's got cold feet, cold ass, and it's gonna put it on you. That's the way it is.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
I don't know what it is with South Dakota. It's just lately the weather has just been obscene. It rains. It hasn't snowed for a few weeks, so that's nice.
Oh God. Okay. Well, by the end of June, it better not snow. I'm getting really excited about this road trip, and Lynn's working on some great graphics for our Grit and Grace on the road. I'm bringing my car in on the weekend to get it checked out, and my tires checked out, my tires rotated, and all that stuff. I want the vehicle in tip-top shape for the road trip. So I'm excited. I'm so freaking excited. I can't wait. I wish school was over. I wish it was happening now, because I just want to get going and have some fun. So
So Mercy Case says, "Oh wow, what a time to walk into a conversation." Yes, uh, we're in the road trip we're talking about is when Lynn comes here to the Black Hills, and we do our show side by side, live in front of an audience. It is going to be epic.
It is.
Something we've talked about since day one.
Mm-hmm. Totally. Yeah, we've talked about it from the beginning. Like we were going to do this live. So I'm pretty excited. My son's pretty excited at checking out all these places because I've been telling him about the things that he can see on the way to South Dakota and all the cool stuff. So I'm excited too, but it's right up his alley, the types of things that
Oh,
that we can
definitely.
see. So
And you'll
yeah.
definitely have to take him to the School of Mines and Technology. That's
Ooh. Yeah.
it's a awesome school, awesome museum
Nice.
there. Some of the stuff that they do there is absolutely insane, and
Cool.
a lot of people don't realize this, but the South Dakota School of Mines and Technology, everybody's heard of like MIT,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
The number two school in the country for technology is School of Mines.
Wow.
So
Wow.
that's the type of people that are going to that school. You got your
Cool.
MIT, and then you got the people that can't get into MIT, so they go into the second best, and that is here.
Wow. Cool. Well, I'm excited.
So
I'm
I think
definitely
you would like that.
excited about it. So
Anyhow, I wish you were coming in October, though. I really do.
you mentioned that before.
Yes, I did mention
Something
that
about
because
October.
that's because in October is Charlotte, North Carolina. It's the
Oh,
I Got
yes.
Your Six event down in Charlotte.
That's
And
right.
I tell you what, that's going to be an epic event. I cannot wait to do that.
Well, I could still go there.
You could still
The
go there.
world is my
Should-
oyster.
You should still go there because
Yeah.
I am pretty sure you would probably be one of the very few Canadian representatives at I Got Your Six.
I got your six, not I got your sex.
I no, no. Yeah, and it'd be cool get Bobby to come on down so he could hang out and see what's going on.
I
We
think he's
got
going to
some.
have some sports stuff going on actually,
Oh, trust
more down the
me,
coast.
he's gonna want to see what we got going on. There are so many things happening.
What's the dates? October
It's October 6th.
6th.
Yeah, but what we're actually doing is we're going to be starting about 3 or 4 days earlier, and we're jumping on an RV. And
Really?
yeah, we're going to jump on an RV, and this is the VIP type cruising, and we're going to be running across from Florida up to North Carolina. We're going to stop and do some road shows. Aries Cobain, really amazing rapper, veteran rapper. He is going to be with us. So we're going to be stopping at, I want to say Fort Benning, maybe Fort Bragg, and doing some
Ooh.
shows for the troops. We're going to be doing some other things. Just kind of
Is there a
showing.
website for this?
I don't know if it's up yet.
But there will
I
be.
There's a Facebook page for it, and it's the IGY62. Facebook.com/IGY62. So it's
Huh.
going to be pretty good. You got Kings Hollow, Madison Rising, Aries Cobain. They're headlining the event for the music. We've got
We should see if Lynn can find that Facebook page, and we can maybe have the Grit and Grace Facebook page like that page, and then we can share about it as it gets closer,
that would be great. That
and we
would
could
be.
put it in the comments.
But yeah, it's all come together. It's veterans helping veterans, and this year they're actually what they call freedom fighters. Freedom fighters is anybody who, your paramedics and
Mm,
your police officers and your firefighters and all the people that don't get recognition because, well, we see them every single day.
yeah,
So
yeah,
we're
exactly.
celebrating them as well, and it's
Cool.
good.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, we'll definitely, yeah, promote that more. I didn't, that's more new stuff. That's awesome. I didn't know about that. I knew about the event. I didn't know
Yeah,
all that. But of course, as things go on and things get planned, more and more happens. So that's awesome.
right.
So, So you guys are joining us. You may not even know what we're talking about tonight. Our hot topic coming up later is 10 tactics to boost your confidence. Boy, we see a lot of people struggle with that.
We
So we're going to
do.
talk about that
Yeah. So
later.
you're talking about confidence and self-esteem type stuff.
Stuff.
Say something else. Anyways,
So
fun.
that's awesome. Cool.
I'm talking
Well,
about tonight, later on tonight with the 10 tips, because these aren't the typical things you hear people talking about. If you,
no.
so this is going to be pretty interesting. It's not like the Tony Robbins stuff or it's just, it's different. It's something that a lot of people don't necessarily think about to help them with confidence. So you're going to
And
want to
I
stick.
like different because there is no one right way for anything.
No, not at all.
That's why you always look and search and try different things out. And that's why I don't like it when people say, this is the way to do it. Pay me lots of money and I will tell you what it is.
Oh, yeah. You can save some money. Just go listen to Grit and Grace.
Yeah, exactly. But Alin said sorry she missed that Facebook page. What was that? She
It's
missed it's the Facebook page.
Yeah, facebook.com/IGY6.
Number 6.
Number 6.
Okay, IGY6, Alin. Facebook.com/IGY number 6.
So yeah.
So great to have an operations manager assistant person, isn't it? You could just go, can you do this, please?
She has changed so many things for us.
Yes.
I gotta sit here and brag a little bit about Alin and what she has done.
We're moving on up.
The engagement has been through the roof. The new page likes has been just unbelievably just skyrocketing.
New viewers and listeners.
Oh my gosh, I love what she has done for us, and it has definitely changed the field as far as what we've been able to. And some of the topics that she comes up with, ideas that she's come up with and thrown at us and stuff like that. It's been great. It's really been great, and I love having her helping us out. It's absolutely. If you don't have an Alin for your show or for anything you're doing, trust me, go find one. Just don't take.
Find an Alin. Yes, yes. And I've had someone already ask about wanting Alin, actually. So Alin doesn't know that I'm saying this, and I've already had somebody ask.
Yes, the prince is right.
Anyway, his and hers topic segment. Sorry, his and hers segment. Do you have yours? Did you think about it?
I really didn't think of anything, so I was just going to kind of play off of yours.
Okay, let's do that because I think this can be a his and hers topic, actually. And this has come up with a couple things. I actually shared a post this week that I think relates to it. And then there's something else that was going on for a little while. And it catches my eye. I don't know why, but it kind of bugs me. And so I shared a post this week on Facebook about locally, a men's resource center is going to be shutting down by the summer. They've slashed, staff and resources and all of that stuff. And it's just, they just can't make it work and it's going to shut down. And I think, wow, like we have one men's resource center. It's shutting down. We have women's shelters, women's groups. We have all kinds of women's stuff. You go to an event, they're raising money for the women's thing, this woman's group and this woman's shelter, which is great. I mean, it's fantastic. But I think we can't even keep one men's resource center open for men that need help or men that are abused or homeless guys or are facing addiction or need help with being in their children's lives or anything like that. And I think that's so sad. And then the other thing that you probably saw around social media had to do with the Boy Scouts.
I have not seen that one. I did see the one you're talking about with the Men's Resource Center.
Yeah, because they shared that.
My first thought on the Men's Resource Center is, well, they have men's resource centers and they'll never go out of business. They're called sports bars.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
it is sad though to see that. But no, I didn't hear anything about the Boy Scouts. What was that about?
Well, the thing about the Boy Scouts about how they're changing it and they're letting girls in and so they're I think going to be changing the name of it
Hmm.
and I'm like, are you kidding me? Like, are you kidding me? Because girls aren't liking what's in the Girl Scouts. It's not enough for some girls, which I get. Not, some girls want to do the stuff that the boys are doing. Absolutely. And I just see that and I think, I don't know.
You know, I
I
think
personally think it's silly. I think, there's so much about inclusion and stuff. I get that, but there is something about I think being in a group that's just your people, like just women, just
yes. And I think I agree. I think the Girl Scouts do what the Girl Scouts do, the Boy Scouts do what the Boy Scouts do. If they want to do something where they're going to include both the boys and the girls together, teaching them the same things so they can keep it all kind of linear. Do something completely different. Don't change the traditions of the Girl Scout. Don't change the traditions of the Boy Scouts. Let them be what they are. It's
mm-hmm,
not sexist for girls to be in an all girls scout troop. It's not sexist for all boys to be in an all boys troop.
mm-hmm.
But if you want to do something where maybe if the girls don't like Girl Scouts and the boys don't like the Boy Scouts, they can go into like a survivalist camp. I don't know what the hell you'd call
Yeah.
it. Yeah, I could see where I can understand the complaints. I really can.
It's so
Um,
funny. There's so many women's groups. There's so
there,
many things geared towards women.
right.
But then if there's like a men's club, it's like, ooh, the old boys club. And I know it may sound like I'm like going against my own here, but I think like there is something when you're with your just a group of girls there's got to be the same thing when guys are like with their guys like there's
Yeah.
something different and I think there's nothing wrong with that and we don't always need to be all together and if there was a problem with it then we wouldn't have private schools where it's all boys school or all girls school. Why is that then? Like,
Well, because when guys do stuff like that, when guys, all men, create a lodge or a club or whatever it is, it becomes a secret society. It all of a sudden becomes part of the Illuminati.
yeah, boys club.
Yeah, and that's just the way it has been. It's anytime guys get together, there's something going on. There's some agenda or whatever it is. You even see that in like motorcycle clubs are the same way. They don't allow women to be members, so right away they're scrutinized by the public for the how they treat women, first of all, even though none of them have actually seen how they treat women. And then of course then you have your bad apples. I mean, there's going to be bad eggs in every group. So just because one person is a piece of shit doesn't mean every one of them are.
Mm-hmm.
But when you got a group of men in a that are hanging out doing their thing, it only takes one for the whole organization to have a bad name.
Yeah, absolutely. And women aren't angels anyway, but I just think why take that away? Like, why is that taken away? Um, now they have to, as soon as there's anything that's just boys or just men, they scream sexist. Like, you should let girls in. Well, why? Why do they have to? Like I think that's where it goes a little bit crazy in the whole thing of, equality and all of that. And I understand things in terms of if we're being denied rights to things, but I think each sex has the right to be to keep it to their own. And if some girls in the Girl Scouts want to learn some of the things that the boys are, maybe the Girl Scouts then need to look at what it is they're teaching. Maybe start adding that to their group. I mean, I don't know. I think it's just everybody's so it's so hypersensitive in terms of being offended and things not being equal that it gets a little bit. I think we lose the meaning of what sexism is and what feminism is and all these isms because everybody's so worried about being so politically correct and that nobody knows how to act anymore and nobody can be who they want to be.
And the people who are rarely affected by the shit that's going on around them.
Yeah.
Because I mean, seriously, I don't see the problems that other people point out.
Me neither.
Because I'm just not part of that problem. And my idea is, if I'm not part of the problem, then well, it doesn't. I don't need to stick my nose. I am not that person. We talked about those people that have to be holier than thou and have to be even more uh, uh grandstanding than the next person type. It just everybody seems to have a cause, and if you have anything that contradicts what it is that they're saying, all of a sudden you're offensive and you're the worst person in the world. And it goes, when it comes to men and women, there's been nothing but a trend over the course of the last 10 years. It's actually been longer than that, but the last 10 years is where I've started seeing it the most, and it's a feminization of men.
It's all that soy.
No, I think what it is, it's the single parents that the mom's raising the boys. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that. My mom did the best she could, and she is a wonderful person. However, when there's a opportunity for a man to step up in a young man's life, and he doesn't take it, you lose something. There are certain things that my mother could not teach me growing up. She tried like hell.
I believe that.
She went out into the yard. She played catch with us. She did everything that you would think that a father would typically do.
Yeah.
To the best of her ability. And for that, I can, I'll never, fault her for trying. But at the same time, young men need not necessarily a father figure, a male figure, a strong male figure.
Mm-hmm.
And that strong, and whether that comes from Boy Scouts or Boys Club or whatever it is, you can't take that away from them. And by introducing girls into the Boy Scouts, you're doing that. They've already introduced girls into the boys clubs. So you're really taking away that opportunity for them to have that male figure in their life that they can look to and learn from.
Mm-hmm. I agree. I totally agree. I think that's why we need the two people. I think, yeah, there's just some things that a mom can do that a dad can't do, and people do the best they can. And there's something you're going to do that's going to screw up your kid anyway. So,
God, yeah.
like,
oh, yeah. Look forward to it. You're going to do it.
Yeah. So, but you're right. I mean, you're absolutely right that, and that was always my concern when when my son was young. I thought, well, now I'm on my own with him. And even though his dad was around, it's still different. And that is where my mind went, was he needs, and my dad had passed away. So my thought was, who is going to be in my son's life as that male role model. So, but I was lucky enough to meet somebody a few years later who, took my son like he was his own. And, But I mean, his dad is a great dad too, but still, he would go away and work and he'd be gone for a couple months. So, but there is something about that, absolutely. And men and women are different. We're just different and we need different things and we need to spend that time with our own people and there's nothing wrong with that. And I think things get so skewed in trying to be correct that or just people be there we have this hypersensitivity about things like it's just wrong that guys just want to be just guys together, like there's something wrong with that, you must let us in, we are women and if you don't let us in that's sexist and you're not being equal towards us. Come on. Like, but then women's groups have no problem going no men allowed.
What's funny is I sat and listened to a conversation accidentally. And I say accidentally because I didn't need to hear the conversation that was going on. But I've got two daughters, and my daughters and my wife will sit in the bedroom and they'll talk. They'll talk about boys, they'll talk about
Yeah.
menstrual cycles, whatever. I mean, it's anything. Well, I happened to be in there one day and my oldest daughter came in and said, "Hey, I want to talk to mom." I'm like, "Okay, so talk to her." So she
Without
did.
you, Dad. Oh, she did with you
And
there.
yeah, oh yeah, because I didn't want to leave. And right then and there, I realized the difference between uh, mom and daughter talk and daughter and father talk.
Yeah.
Very, very different. Same thing goes for mom and son talks and father and son talks.
Mm-hmm.
Very, very different things. Um, it wasn't that I was uncomfortable because I wasn't necessarily uncomfortable with the subject that they were talking about. But I felt like I was intruding on their time, their bond.
Mm-hmm.
That's really what it boiled down to. Daughters are difficult.
I know. That's why I'm so glad I had a boy. It's exactly what I wanted. Who I think is the sole expression of my dad, but
Well,
that's a whole
probably.
other topic.
Oh
But
wow. So anyhow,
anyway, yeah. So that was my hers topic. I just these men things kept coming up this week with groups, and I just thought we're so beyond the politically correct. We're into the stupid correct now, and it's just I just scroll on by. You just have to scroll on by. You lose your mind. Just lose your freaking mind.
and still, I have nothing for his time. I just
That's
okay.
okay.
So I've been working like I was telling you before the show. I've been working 10 to 14 hour days for the last month straight.
I know it's crazy. It's
I've had
criminal.
I've had one Sunday off in the last 2 months, and to be honest, and I'm wiped. My mind is absolutely wiped. I have
No
no.
doubt.
The fact of the matter is, there this topic that we're talking about tonight. You even said it. This seems like an easy topic when we're discussing the topic, the 10 tips.
Tame is what I said. That's a pretty tame topic.
Pretty tame topic, but honestly, I don't think I could handle anything more complex.
But then you had a good answer too, though. You had a very good answer when I said I was a little surprised. I was like, that's a pretty tame topic. Why would you come like with a tame topic like that? But you had a
It,
very good answer to that.
well, yes, and it's you know people like you and I, we don't struggle with confidence. We don't struggle with self-esteem.
Well, I do a
But
little bit sometimes. I have
well,
to say, I do
but
sometimes.
other people, just because we don't struggle with it doesn't mean other people don't struggle with it.
I know I forget that.
And it's easy to forget. Um,
Oh, totally. That's
I
why
think
I said like this is kind of like this is a tame topic. But then I thought about that too. Exactly. I thought, you know what? I bet he's just thinking I need something that's for me, not tough for a topic.
well, yeah, I was thinking like, okay, this is something that I know really well. It's something that I've coached. It's something that I've worked with people on for years. So it was something that I knew I could just kind of. float with, I guess. Um, yeah, because I'm burnt. I am burnt
Burnt.
out.
Totally. I know. I haven't seen you around. And how's your wrist? Because you fell off the ladder. Like,
It's still sore right in this area, but it's not as bad.
yeah.
Yeah, the thing that hurts the most is still my back. I'm still. I'm sure you guys have seen me kind of fidgeting and leaning and all that kind of stuff. That's me trying to stay comfortable. Yeah, it's
You got to
still.
tell your boss that he's interfering with grit and grace.
Well, I'm going to tell my boss to stick it one of these days, hopefully. Um, and if you're watching, Justin, I'm going to call your ass out right now. This shit ain't going to fly long. It's not going to fly. Anyhow,
Not gonna fly. You hear
yeah,
that? Not gonna fly.
it falls. My ass falls, and that's cool. But yeah, no,
Yeah.
that might be a show in itself. Is when CJ finally burns the fuck out. Um, so
We can't have that.
So yes, tonight we're talking about confidence and in the hot topic, and we are going to give you 10 tips on how you can boost your confidence.
Yes. You know what? I like you said, there's no right or wrong way at all for anything. There's no one way, there's whatever. People have to find what works for them. So I always like when you and I approach a topic because you have certain things that you've done, and I have things that I've done, and you've learned different things. So it was really interesting to read through this. To see different things that, yeah, okay, I can see that. Because it's not a one size fits all. It really isn't.
No, and confidence in a person is as unique as their fingerprint. And
Yeah, it's what, yeah, exactly.
and the way you display it is going to be unique to just you.
Mm-hmm.
So but it's something that we all have to have. It's something that gets us through our day to day. Now we can all have spurts of confidence, right?
Oh, yeah.
Like
Walk
you
around like a
prepare,
peacock.
yeah, you prepare for something, you know it. You're gonna go up there and just do what you got to do,
Yeah.
whether it be taking a driver's test or whatever it is.
Yeah.
We can all show spurts of confidence. It's difficult though to maintain confidence on on a level basis. It really is.
Yeah. It is. And I think it's depending on what the thing is that you're dealing with. I think with certain things, you can maintain that level of confidence in certain areas of things, but in, other things, I think it's and especially if you're always growing and you're always like the next level and the next level, if you're as a business owner or your career or goals and you're always like super challenging yourself, I think that will test your confidence.
I
Maybe,
think
for some people, maybe not, but
I think a lot of people will see a confident entrepreneur. I know there's a couple that I can think of off the top of my head that every now and then you watch them and it's like, oh man, that guy is so damn arrogant. Then you think about it for a second. It's like, no, he's confident enough in what he's doing. He is so sure of what he's doing is the right thing.
mm-hmm.
It just comes off as arrogance.
Yeah.
And
Some
that's
are arrogant though.
some are if they've ever if they ever reach a level of success that maybe comes a little too easy.
Yeah.
That's a good a good recipe for arrogance.
Yeah. Yeah. It's very interesting. It's very interesting for sure. Absolutely. Yeah. Are you going to take us into it?
Well, kind of. That's
Do it.
okay. So I don't have anything to read in front of me. My phone just died. That was that little thing. But
Oh,
that was that little bling bling thing going on. My phone
well, good
dying.
thing I'm prepared. Always prepared.
So actually, I was going to start out though by asking you, what are some areas that you've seen where confidence or lack of confidence has hurt people?
Um, like in the area in certain areas of their life,
Just in anything, yeah,
in
anything,
anything. Lack
yeah,
of confidence has hurt them.
yeah, where it's caused problems.
I think well, I think relationships. I think
Mhm.
friendships, not necessarily romantic relationships. I think friendships, and I think small business owners.
Definitely in small business owners, I've seen it happen. Definitely in some relationships. The biggest area that I've seen, and this is everyday life, everyday people, and that's getting what you want, negotiating,
Yeah,
negotiate.
and well, yeah, and I see that in like friendships,
Yeah,
right?
but it doesn't have to be in friendships. It could be in
Well,
anything.
no, yeah, relationships. Yeah.
What the
Oh,
heck? People are trying
someone's
to
calling
call me.
you.
Holy crap! My phone just. I don't
Someone wants to chime in.
know. Oh, I should answer this and put him on blast on the show.
Do it if it's good.
I don't even know how to answer it now.
Well, there should be a green dot.
Well, it's dead.
The phone just died. Had just enough power to ring.
Yeah, that was it too. So anyhow,
Okay, go
so
ahead.
confidence. Yeah, the what basically what I was getting at is how confidence is something that we need. It's a tool that we can use on a daily basis, and it works in negotiations. It works in our relationships, like you were saying. When I say negotiations, I'm talking about not even business negotiations. It could be day to day. You've heard of people that uh, you won't get anything unless you ask for it. Well,
Yeah.
unless you have the confidence to be able to go up and ask for it, you'll never get anything.
Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of what I was kind of talking about, where I was going with that.
So, what is your then? Because they're kind of close, and it fits in. Okay, so confidence and courage. You got to have confidence to exude courage.
Well, personal courage, yeah, okay, so there's I call it personal courage because that's kind of the way I learned it, but courage is, to me, the way I use it, it's a little bit different than having confidence.
Yeah,
They work hand in hand, but they're very much different.
yeah,
Courage is your ability to go what's the word? There's a certain term I'm looking for here, and I just can't think of it. Oh man, see that getting my brain is
getting
fried.
burnt out, man.
This was supposed to be my coast show, right? So,
We're making you work too hard.
so yeah, but courage
Okay,
is
so let me ask you this then.
okay.
Do you think that someone can can do something courageous if they have zero confidence within
Yeah,
themselves?
absolutely. I've seen it over and over and over.
Yeah.
Anytime somebody is doing something that's not popular with the group, the whole, the with it maybe for example, say somebody witnesses bullying. That person may not be a confident person, but they know that bullying is wrong, and
Yeah.
they go and stand up for the person being bullied. I
Yeah.
see that kind of stuff all the time. So yeah, you can be courageous without having confidence, but unless you have confidence, you're not going to be able to. You won't speak up about it, though. I mean, you have to be able to have the
Mhm.
confidence to be able to speak out. Yeah, you can
Mhm.
have courage for that split second. Same thing like I was talking about earlier. You can have confidence for in moments, in
Yeah.
little spurts.
Yeah.
Same thing with courage.
Yeah. Yeah, they are different. They're
But
different. Yeah. but it definitely, I think sometimes you need one for the other. I think it depends on what you do. And I think it's something, yeah, it's something that people really struggle with. And I think one of the things is that people are so busy looking at other people and what other people are doing that that is like a confidence sucker right there.
Yeah.
And what better way to see what everybody else is doing than to be on social media?
Yes. And everybody's heard the whole fake it till you make it
Yeah.
thing, where you can fake having confidence. You see that a lot on social media. They've got all this courage and all this confidence
Yeah.
on Facebook. In person, they're a little bit different. In
Yeah.
person, I've seen several people. I've met several people when I was coaching where on Facebook you would honestly believe that they're some Tony Robbins level. I've been using Tony Robbins as a lot lately for, for
You have been. I'm very surprised by that.
I've got a lot of respect for him. I do. I really do have a lot of respect for Anthony Robbins. But at the same time, um, like I was saying, I've seen a lot of people, I've met a lot of people who have this aura about them online, and then you meet them in person, and it's almost 180 degrees flip.
I know, right? Yeah.
It's
I
it's
know what you
kind of
mean.
it's kind of scary sometimes.
Yeah. You have those, sometimes you connect with people and you talk and you have these conversations and you find out this whole thing. You find out so much and you learn so much more about them. And you're like,
Yeah.
wow, like I
There's
never knew. I never knew. And, I understand certain aspects of that whole thing. Like, I get it. But at the same time, I think you can only do that for so long. And you've got
yeah.
to be like, you can only do that for so long.
So what kind of things can we do to maybe boost our confidence and maintain that for a little bit longer?
You know what? Okay, so this one was like, whoa, not what I expected at all. And but then I'm like, oh, I start thinking that's what I do and not even realize that yes, that gives me confidence. And that is questioning the worst possible outcome and accepting that it's not the end of the world.
Yeah.
And I was like, shit, that's not something that you would see anything about boosting your confidence.
You know,
But I do that, but not even thinking.
and coming up, actually number 7, I link this one with 7 now. I didn't in the beginning. I used to do these two separate, and that was the face your fears one.
Yeah. Facing
But
fears will
now
also give you inner confidence to overcome challenges. That one's a little tougher, though. That one's a little tougher.
that's why in the beginning, that's why there's 10 now instead of only 5. In the beginning, I split these up. I always split these up with my clients because it's really hard to question the outcome and then jump right into fear.
Yeah.
So we kind of did this as a 10-step process is the way
Hmm.
I came up with it. And once you get to a certain point, you're actually able to put these two together, because what happens is once you've actually gotten through facing your fears, you've gone through your 10-step program, and you hit number 6 or 7 and you're facing your fears, you don't stop at number 10. You start using these over and over and over.
Oh, yeah.
And then when after a while, that 10-step process turns into a 6-step or a 4-step. And when you start questioning your outcomes, when your biggest fear now is crushed by the outcome. And when I say that, it's like, okay, will this decision or will this choice or will this action cause death? No. then shit, let's move right past fears. There's nothing to be afraid of now.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
that's why I say
absolutely.
you can start combining some of these, and they work really well together.
Until it's custom to you.
Right.
Because what is a problem for some people when it comes to confidence is different for everybody.
Yeah.
What people struggle with and what they need to boost their confidence, it's different for everybody. It's why I hate those, one size fits all of anything, because it's not, because we are
Mhm.
all different. And so yeah, it's really, until, yeah, like you said, to come down, maybe it's just that one thing, and it's a few things combined, and it's that one thing you need when you're, the new level, new devil, right? That's when you pull that thing out of your back pocket, and you on your way again.
Yep.
And it's so automatic, you don't even realize that you're even doing it, but you are doing it to give you that confidence. But that blew me away, that first one. I was like,
Yeah.
fuck, I do
Well,
that. So I do that, and I don't even realize it that I do that.
well, of course, because when you question that outcome, it's everything that could possibly go wrong will go wrong, right? That's Murphy's law.
Oh
Anything
yeah.
that can will go wrong.
Yeah.
So when you question the outcome, you really kind of, okay, let's have a talk, Murphy. Let's you and I sit down. Let's figure this out. What's going to go wrong here? And once you've
Yeah.
gotten through all of that, done.
Yeah.
There's nothing to worry about. It's like preparing for a speech. If you go up and you try to give a speech and you're not prepared for it, you're nervous as hell.
Yeah.
You prepare for it, boom, it's done. You're up
Yeah.
there, you're having a good time.
I know it. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So that was great. That's a great one. So questioning the worst possible outcome and accepting that it's not the end of the world. That is a fantastic way to boost your confidence. See, unknowingly do it. But, for some people who never thought about doing that, that is a great way. See, that works for me. May not work for some other people, but that's a great tactic. I mean, shit. The next one the next one definitely is something that I've done with clients. Um, and that's trying new things and achieving some level of success. Even if the success is small, it helps you build self confidence levels instantly. And yes, and if you want to refer to Tony Robbins, you can, because it works so well.
This is
And you seem to
actually
be
something.
using him. That's
Well,
how it feeds the whole thing. When we do something and we achieve something and we get results, and that we have a thought about that, and that spurs us on. And it's the same with failures. That's why people are so afraid with things. They try something, they fail, then they have a thought about that, and then you get stuck in that cycle. So if you could do even something, it's like, people who write a to-do list, even if they've just finished doing something, they'll put it on their to-do list so they can cross it off. It's just that innate thing that we need to have those small successes, no matter how small. I love
so
crossing shit off my list.
so the reason why I put this on the list originally when I was writing up my list, it was because of Tony Robbins. It really was. It was the firewalk principle. The
Yes.
uh and the reason why I use the firewalk principle is that's really all that is. It's success. It's something he knows what's going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
90% of the people that do the firewalk, they're absolutely terrified. And then when they're done with it, they've succeeded. Something as simple as an 8-foot bed of coals.
My brother did that walk.
It's I have not done it yet, and I will hopefully someday. But
Yeah. Got a picture of him standing there in front of the coals. He did it in Vegas years ago. But
wow.
yeah. So I might as well tell you, I had a dream the other night about Tony Robbins. It was so bizarre and so vivid. It was like so real. No, we weren't having sex. It was
How
so
was it that
weird.
good, man?
It was very short because my damn alarm woke me up. But um it was like I met him. It was like the first time I met him, and it wasn't even like when you'd meet someone famous being, oh my God, I love you. I've always loved you. It wasn't like that. It was all at all. It was sort of like, hey. And I remember we were just sort of sitting together and I had my arm in his arm, like we were buddies. And I remember my dream saying, you know, I really want to go to Namali Resort. He owns this resort in Fiji called the Namali Resort. And it's gorgeous there. And in my dream, I said, you know, I really want to go to Namali Resort too. And he said, and this was the last thing, and my damn alarm went off. He goes, you should. It's only $85 a night.
Wow.
So I looked it up, and it's so not $85 a night, but shit, it is so nice there. It's more like, you know,
it's more like $800 a night, but you know, whatever.
and more depending on how many nights. But yeah, anyway, I had to say that story since you were using him as an example. It was just so bizarre. It was the weirdest dream. Like, it was so clear.
So what's something that you used to do with your customers to do this, to get small successes right away out of the box?
Well, it was usually whatever was related to, you know, what was the thing that they wanted to do? What was the goal they wanted to accomplish? And then really it was just breaking it down. You know, what is one thing you can do that would contribute to that? And that's the fastest, quickest way for people to get. And then when we'd meet again, when I'd meet with my clients again, it's the next week. It was like, so what did you do? And there was no expectations at all. It was just, well, what can you do? And they'd always do way more than, you know, they'd end up saying, they'd say, well, you know, I guess I could like make a call and make an appointment. Okay, great, do that. And then, you know, I'd meet with my clients the next week and it was like, they made an appointment, they saw them, they did whatever, like they went even more because that first thing gave them so much more confidence. So, you know.
Yeah, we always had to do the win-win-win. I've always done the win-win-win process where 3 wins out of the box. Got to have 3 wins right away out of the box so we can kind of move past that, so they can see that it's you know, possible.
Yeah.
And, yeah, and like you're saying, it depends on what it is. If it was weight training that I was working with them on, our first win might be, hey, let's go from 25-pound curls to 30-pound curls. I mean, something quick, something easy, because you'd be surprised. Just having someone there pushing you and motivating you, you can gain 5 pounds on a lift that quick.
Oh, frick, yeah. Yeah. And a lot of times I would say, what's the simplest thing out of all of this that you could do that's almost like wouldn't even require like barely anything from you? And they, well, I could like do such and such. And it was like, do that. Then they could see what the other things were. And it was like, okay, yeah, that was the fastest thing. Because you have to start building up those, start collecting those successes like now. Like now.
Yeah. You have to make winning a habit.
Yeah.
It sounds cliche, it sounds stupid, but it's true.
It is.
You know, winning isn't something you hear this in sports all the time, but when you make winning a habit, it gets so much easier. It just gets easier.
It does. Yeah. So the next one I loved, again, surprised.
Yep.
So number 3, listening to music that lifts the spirits and inspires the individual to get the task done quickly and efficiently is also another option to boost your confidence. Absolutely. Something I do all the time. Again, instinctually, not something that I ever shared with my clients, suggested to my clients. Never. It was just because it's so huge to me. Just automatically did it. And so then I see that and I'm like, well, yeah, again, instinctually.
Right. It seems
it does. It puts you in that state.
But yeah. And I'm not talking when remember, I want to tell you this. I started in the personal training world. So good, you know, it's music drives motivation. So this was one of those things where I threw it back in there.
Well, yeah, I mean, look at all those events.
Yeah.
Tony Robbins is very
Music,
specific about his playlist at his events.
uh, definitely. And not just heavy metal or country music or whatever. You have to be able to kind of get out there. There's a group that I
Yeah.
used to listen to called the Yellow Jackets. They played no instruments. Everything was harmonics through their voices.
Oh
It
wow.
was all through their voice, and it was absolutely amazing.
Wow.
It was almost like it was a great meditation way to music to meditate to, because the
Wow.
word, it was just sounds made with their voice, and it was amazing.
Huh. Yeah, music. Yeah. Oh my God. Music just has saved my life. It's gotten me pumped up for things. It's gotten me just to feel normal. It's gotten me through tough times. It like, oh yeah, definitely, definitely huge. So yeah, seeing that on the list was like, yeah, never thought about that.
Yeah, well, I mean, music of all pretty much everything that we surround ourselves on a daily basis, music is the only thing that can snap us back in time, like now.
Oh
You
God,
hear
yeah.
a song, and it will remind you of that moment. I mean, it'll take you to a specific moment in time.
Yeah.
Music is really one of the only ways you can do that.
Like pour some sugar on me.
Yeah, just like, yep, that's the. Uh,
So now every time I hear that song,
you think about Chris getting laid.
yep.
Anyway, yes,
Oh, yeah, good one.
head. Uh,
Next. Next.
next one.
Making plans and sticking to them, even when someone says it's not doable, will help to boost both the outcome and your confidence levels. True. Another
Absolutely.
one I never would have thought of.
It falls into that do what you say and follow through. It's all about follow through,
Yeah.
uh, holding yourself accountable, things like that.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. I love
and
these different perspectives. These are just so different than
well,
things that I mean, some of them, definitely of what I've done, but these are awesome.
it sets um an expectation also. If you
Hmm.
make plans, you follow through to the end, even though other people are like, yeah, that's probably not going to work out. Whether you can, whether you succeed or you fail, you followed all the way through to the end.
Hmm.
You start setting expectations of other people. Other people then start looking at you as, hey, that guy or that woman over there, that's the person, that's the go-to person if you want to get something done.
Yeah.
I mean, what better confidence boost is there when you become the go-to person, when
Yeah.
somebody's looking up to you as that go-to person?
That's right.
That's really where this one comes in.
And that's a bigger, doing new things to like or small successes.
Yeah.
That's just a bigger one, right?
Yeah,
But
and like
yeah,
I
it's
said,
true.
these are all just steps in the process. I mean, obviously you're not going to do all 10 of these things at the same time. You might
That's right.
jump around a little bit,
Yeah.
but these all 10 of these things are things that you can use. You can throw these in your toolbox. Maybe you only use 5 of them or 4 of them, or maybe
Yeah.
you use all 10 of them, or maybe you create a list of 30 of them. You come up with something new.
Yeah.
So,
Or maybe some of them you're already doing,
yeah,
right?
much like yourself.
Exactly. Exactly. I like these because these are new, some of them, right? Some of them are new, and some of them are like, yeah, that is exactly what I do. Now, this one, number five, using meditation to draw on inner strengths can help boost your self confidence instantly. Yeah, absolutely. And there's different, like you have as an example, that there's different breathing styles. Um, to help
Physical.
cause a chemical reaction. Absolutely. There's alternate breathing through nostrils and different things like that I learned when I did my laughter yoga training. Makes a huge difference. Um, that is not something that I would use though.
What meditation?
Yeah.
Oh, see, I used it more for visualization. especially
Mhm.
for athletes, being able
Yeah.
to visualize how you're going to perform. Uh, I've had guys that have come up to me and said, "Hey, look, I don't know, there's something wrong with the way I'm hitting right now." Well, then we go through this meditation and visualization process.
Yeah.
They literally go through the process from the time the ball leaves the pitcher's hand all the way to the where he's taking his swing. He's visualizing his how he's turning his hips, how he's turning his everything. So
Yeah.
that meditation is really more about being visualizing what it is that you want and want to achieve, and then working through it that way, and helping build that confidence in yourself that you can, go ahead and do this. Like I said, this comes from a personal trainer, not a
Mhm.
not a
But
psychologist.
there are times where, yeah, definitely I do get still. I think we need times that we do get still and get quiet because things get crazy in our head and then we become overwhelmed and then, yeah, very easily lose confidence. So, yeah, but the traditional sense of like spending a lot of time being, I can visualize too. I have a difficult time with that as well.
Yeah.
So I have to be really flexible in how I do meditation or because I'll beat myself up if I don't even do that right.
See, I do this a lot. Actually, before I do, if I'm going into a sales pitch, for example, if I'm bidding a job,
Yeah.
do this. I'll visualize that entire bid process.
Ah,
I'll visualize the negotiation. We'll go back and forth. I'll create back and forth negotiation, and that way, no matter what comes out of their mouth, I've already gone through this. I've already
yeah,
visualized this, so it helps me prepare a little bit. So
yeah,
I'll go through
yeah,
it that way. Is it the best answer? No, it might not work for you, but for some people, it works wonders.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Um, next, number six, number six tactic for boosting your confidence. Exercise, yes, is also a great confidence booster. Uh, and again, we're talking about the chemical reaction in the body, allowing you to push limits. Yeah, absolutely. And then that goes along with small successes and
Yes, it also you also, like you're saying, the chemical reactions in the body, releasing the endorphins, releasing the serotonin,
yeah,
all these
yeah,
different things
that
going on.
rush.
But this is also the long term confidence builder too.
Yeah,
The longer you utilize exercise and diet and things like that, the better you start to look. When you look at yourself in the mirror and you start seeing these changes in the mirror, you can't help but let your confidence will start maintaining higher levels.
for
So
sure.
this is kind of, even though it's kind of midway in the pack, it should be actually number one, because you should start doing this first almost. But not everybody gets
But it
jazzed up.
helps you mentally too, though, because
Yeah.
we know scientifically that just like getting out and moving like that really, really helps you. Getting out and moving makes a really big difference. I mean, it doesn't mean you have to go run a marathon or lift a bunch of weights or anything like that. Just getting out and moving. And I've learned this for myself. Saturdays, I always have big plans of work that I'm going to do, and I just cannot do it. I have to get out on Saturdays because I will feel mentally, I'll feel like crap and I'll feel like I'm not accomplishing anything and I won't feel confident. Saturdays, I have to get out and do something. Absolutely. Get
Yeah,
out and move and
even if it's hiking or
yeah,
camping,
or just a walk or like I have to do that. I've learned that finally.
just getting in the sun, getting your skin in the sun, soak up some of that vitamin D. You'd be
Yeah.
surprised on how many aches and pains go away if you just get sunlight.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, definitely get out and move. And I think as small business owners and entrepreneurs, we get that whole, we're in that hustle, hustle, hustle mode. And but I definitely, and if you can do it, and you find that you work well that way, and then you hustle for a certain amount of time, and then you do know, okay, now I need like, 2 days of like nothing. I don't answer my phone. I don't go on social media. I don't whatever. But I've learned that, yeah, I hustle like Monday to Friday. Saturday, I can't hustle anymore. I just feel like crap. But then by Sunday, I'm good again. So, but if I go outside now, I know if I go outside and do something and get moving on Saturdays, then I don't feel. Took me a while. Sometimes I'm a slow learner, but I figured
It's,
that one out because I'd feel down. I'd be like, why do I feel down? It was like I was trying to work and I really shouldn't have been. But then by
yeah.
Sunday, I'm good again. So
So
that's a good one.
what are we on now? Number 7?
Number 7, yes. Facing fears will give the individual the inner confidence to overcome challenges. Yeah, we touched on that. Yeah, definitely it does. And face your fears. And we hear that all the time. Face your fears, name your fear, make it a person, all of that stuff, right?
I don't really I don't know why this one's still in there. Like I said, I kind of lump it in with the first one now, but facing fears, it is what it is. I mean, everybody, Bob
Has
Proctor
to.
is probably one of my favorite people when it comes to talking about fears and blowing fears out of the water. So
Oh, really?
yeah,
Bob Proctor?
yeah,
I haven't
yeah.
read anything of his for a while.
Not Tony Robbins this time.
Bob Proctor. I do like Bob Proctor. I like the way, yeah, I like his delivery on things. Yeah, I'm gonna have to go to
Just read,
YouTube and look up.
just look up Dave Daly's stuff. It's the same stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
He's,
He's
uh,
throwing some shade there.
a little bit.
Yeah, I like Bob Proctor. Yeah.
Yeah,
8, creating something that's useful and complement drawing what will certainly contribute positively to instant elevated self-confidence levels.
this one
Yes.
here is a little bit more difficult. It's usually later on. Like I said, it's like number 8. It's later on in the process usually. So creating something else. What I used to like to do is I used to like to have the people that I was coaching
Mm-hmm.
create a program for somebody else.
Oh, that's a
So
good one.
that's where the create something useful come in. And what that did is it kind of solidified, kind of teach the teacher type thing. It kind of solidified what it is that you're trying to teach them. At the same
Yeah.
time, they're giving back to somebody else.
Because a lot of times you go, wow, I know a lot more than I thought I knew.
Right.
Yeah. Good one. Good one. Yeah, that's true. And that does give you confidence. I've done that when I have to speak in front of a group or teach something in a group. And once you get going, you're like, you can feel yourself become more confident because you're like, wow, you're like the side person watching going, holy shit, I know all this stuff. Like, whoa. And then you're done. You're like, man, I know a lot more than I thought I knew. It becomes so automatic to you. But when you do that, absolutely it boosts your confidence. Yeah.
So, number 9.
Number 9, realizing that past mistakes don't dictate the individual's capabilities to venture forth is also another form of boosting your confidence levels. Yeah, absolutely. That's difficult for people, that one, though.
Yeah, and again, that's why it's lower down on the list later on in the process, is because
Yeah.
everything else from 1 to 8 is building up to this understanding and recognizing. Even starting at number 1,
Yeah.
question the outcome. By the time you get to number 9, you've done these things over and over and over, and
Yeah.
you really have to learn how to let go of the past. It's one of the things. It's a cancer.
But some people don't let you let go of the past. And
Right.
like if you've seen maybe this video that's gone viral on social media all week about this woman
Well,
blasting these people sitting next to her in a Denny's This happened in BC, not very far from me, and has now lost her job because of it. That
Oof.
is something that's going to haunt her for a frick of a long time. She's really so upset and doesn't know how to deal with it.
Huh.
But
Never, I haven't seen that.
hard to let go of mistakes. Everybody's perfect when they're pointing the finger at other people. But when they're the one that have made the mistakes, they, don't understand why everybody's all. But yet, if someone else makes a mistake, they're very quick to point the finger. People are very perfect when they're judging and pointing the finger at what other people have done wrong. So that's why I think it's so hard for people to realize that past mistakes don't dictate your capabilities.
No.
People will not, they have no problem reminding you of the things that you've done, that you've failed, especially if you want to start something new. And that's where you need to tell them where to go.
Right. In the
But you need
easiest
the
way,
confidence for that.
the easiest way to gain confidence and to make this work for you is by utilizing those mistakes as ammunition for your future success.
Yeah. Yeah.
It really is.
Yeah. Get some people around you who won't look at that shit or weren't around when you did that stuff.
I like using it for personally. I like using it as here I am. This is what I screwed up. This is how fucked up I really am.
Yeah.
And
Not
I don't
everybody
let it
can
become
do that
skeletons.
though.
But when you're used to letting things become skeletons,
Mm-hmm.
they will come back to haunt you.
You
But
have
when
no skeletons in your closet.
no, I don't. I
You
clean that
really don't.
closet out.
They are all out partying together.
Yeah, they are happy, loving souls that have moved on to a better place.
That's
But
right. Accomplishing new things. That's right. That's right.
that's what you got to do, though. You got to get it out there. You got to make it so people can't use those things against you. If you use it before they can use it, well, you just take away all the wind out of their sails.
Absolutely. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Yeah, totally agree. And the last tactic for boosting your confidence, improving your social skills will help you attract more positive attention. And then that obviously will contribute to elevated confidence levels. Absolutely. And that is a difficult thing, social skills. You got to walk into a room by yourself. That can be really difficult. And one thing that in social setting, say for example, small business owners, they're going to go to a networking event to meet people. They're walking in by themselves. They don't know anybody. They're feeling really like not self-confident at all. And one thing that has worked for me that I've told other people to try is, it's really on how you carry yourself. Is your head down? Are your shoulders hunched? Are you trying to be small because you're not feeling very confident at all? Carry yourself in a way that portrays confidence. It will help you feel more confident.
Posture, posture, posture.
Oh, yeah. That is a big one for me. Big one. I'll find myself in some situations like that where I'll put my hands on my hips. That's a huge boost for me.
The person who actually taught me the most about this wasn't even, I never talked to the man. I never once heard anything, never was even in the same room with this guy. But it was Jay Cutler, 5-time Mr. Olympia bodybuilder. I was watching an interview with him, and one of the things that they were talking about, these are guys who get up on a stage who practically naked and who are standing there in front of a panel of judges who are literally judging their physique.
Yeah, every little thing.
And how, for someone to be able to get up on stage and say, okay, I'm here, judge me. And not only them, but then there's, 4,000 or 5,000 people in the crowd judging them.
Yeah.
Because they've got their favorite guy or whatever.
Yeah.
That I was watching this interview and he said, the thing about being Mr. Olympia, it's not being the best bodybuilder in the world. It's appearing to be the most confident bodybuilder in the world. He goes, and that starts from the moment you take your clothes off and you're standing in back in the warm up room. You come out on stage after you're done. You go back. He goes, it's how you carry yourself. It's how you posture. You hold your posture.
Mm-hmm.
Everything when people look at you, it doesn't matter if it's the moment you walk in the door to the moment you lay your head down at bed. From the moment you're there, someone's always watching you. He
Mm-hmm.
goes, first time you let your shoulders sink and you slope your back, all of a sudden they're going to see something in you that doesn't look right.
Mm-hmm.
So it's
Yeah.
not how he goes. It's not about being the best bodybuilder. It's being the most confident bodybuilder. And from
Yeah.
that,
Yeah.
it just blew me away.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and they would know, right? Like you said, you're on
Right.
stage, but body language, yeah, absolutely. It's if you're not feeling confident, if you got to walk into that room and you don't know anybody, but social skills will go a long way. And just think about it. We are attracted to people who are exuding more confidence. Think about, people that you're attracted to, the opposite sex in relationships. I mean, someone who is not confident in the least, you're not attracted to that. You're more attracted to people who are more confident. And
Yeah.
so hold yourself a certain way and think about it. And if you want to test it, just test it while you're at home. Start thinking very confident thoughts about yourself and then notice automatically how your body's going to respond. So if you need to do it backwards in a pinch and you need to appear confident, stand that way. Stand with your shoulders back, put your hands on your hips, be whatever way is going to show that confidence. You will start feeling that way and people will be drawn. And then, yeah, you can develop those social skills. Absolutely. Watch some other people. What did they do? The people that you're drawn to that appear confident.
And
But
I've got
social skills,
one
yeah.
last tip, especially when meeting people, when it comes to social skills. When you're meeting people, most people shake hands. It's, what we do.
Oh God, I knew you were going to say this for some reason. This is bizarre.
Okay, so when people shake hands, this is the one thing that will kill most people. Absolutely kill them. When you shake hands, you reach out, and some people will give that little limp fish.
I hate that.
And then there's other people who will go just the opposite, and then they'll just engulf your hand and crush the thing, right?
And your arm is like, yeah.
Well, there's this thing. It's been used by politicians, by leaders, world leaders all over the world. You go in, you when you shake someone's hand, you grab it firmly, right?
Yeah.
You pull it slightly towards you, and you put your left hand on right
Top
by
of the
their
hand.
elbow.
On their
No,
elbow.
but
Yeah.
that person will immediately recognize you as an authority figure.
Yeah.
I don't know the psychology behind it, but trust me, it works.
And
So the next
watch videos on that. Like if you see how people are world leaders in that. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, it's crazy. I mean, we could get into a whole discussion on body language, but social skills, that first impression is super important. Yeah, you can always come back from a bad first impression. You
Mm-hmm.
really can, but
Yeah.
it's tough. It's difficult. So that first impression, you definitely now on social media, we don't get the opportunity to shake hands. So you
No.
really have to be, um, you have to be you.
Yeah. It's a
You got
little
to
bit
be.
different, but it's sort of the same. But obviously, you have limitations. You can't shake hands on Facebook, but there are certain things that, the way you can be on social media. It's social
Yeah, you got to
media.
be consistent though with who you are.
You have to. Yeah.
Just,
Yeah, you do.
anyways, that's
But
that's
I'm gonna put this as and you know what? I didn't put last week's resource on our website, which I'm gonna do that. So I will do that and I will put this as well for people to check out as a blog post on our website. So if you're watching, whether you're watching now, whether you're watching in the replay, go to our website and check things out. Look, we're getting up close version of CJ. Go to our website and check it out, because we're always adding stuff to our website. And then that way you can find out where we are, all the different ways that you can listen to us, because maybe you don't want to sit and watch us for all this time. Maybe you have other things you want to do and you can't sit here. Maybe you're driving and you can't watch us. So go to our website and you can find out the ways that we're available audio. And then you don't have to look at CJ's face as he's in pain and he's uncomfortable. Poor guy.
Nobody wants to see that. That's just awkward.
That's
Up in your
awkward.
face.
Up in your face. Poor dude. So yeah, be sure to go to our website, check it out, and see what we've got there in the resources tab. And yeah, like shoot us a question if you've got a question. Everything happens on the website, gritandgracetv.com. The link's on our Facebook page too. So there you go. Look at you.
Oh gosh.
You're spent. You
I
are
am.
spent. Poor
I
dude.
Totally spent. Anyways, thank you all for watching.
Thanks,
appreciate
everybody.
you. I promise you, one of these days I will get enough sleep where I don't look like I'm
Dying.
So, till next week, everybody. Thank you for watching, and we'll be seeing you.
Bye.